Arguments aren't the problem. How we handle them determines whether love deepens or slowly grows cold. In this video, we're diving into 10 biblical ways to handle arguments without destroying your relationship. Stay with me, because by the end of this, you might not just change how you argue, you might transform your entire relationship. Number 1, calm down before you speak. When emotions rise, wisdom often disappears. That's why slowing down is not weakness, it's strength under control. James 1 verse 19 and 20 says, "Everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry, because human anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires." Anger is like fire. The wrong words fuel it and it spreads. But if you pause, breathe, and step back, you're choosing to put that fire out before it consumes everything. Even science supports this. John Gottman found that when you're emotionally flooded, your body can take about 20 minutes to calm down. So stepping away isn't avoiding the issue, it's preparing to handle it wisely. And that leads us to number 2, speak to heal, not to hurt. In arguments, it's easy to turn into a prosecutor, listing faults and assigning blame. But the marriage relationship isn't a courtroom, it's a covenant. Ephesians 4 verse 29 says, "Do not let any unwholesome talk come out of your mouths, but only what is helpful for building others up." Think about the difference between saying, "You never listened to me," and saying, "I feel unheard when this happens." One attacks identity, the other expresses experience. One creates distance, the other invites understanding. Words are tools. Use them to repair, not destroy. Now here's where many people miss it. Number 3, listen to understand, not just to respond. Most people don't listen, they reload. While the other person is speaking, they're already preparing their comeback. But real listening is powerful. Proverbs 18 verse 13 teaches us to answer before listening is folly and shame. Sometimes people aren't asking you to fix anything, they just want to feel seen and heard. Once someone feels understood, you've already won part of the battle. Which brings us to number 4, fight the problem, not the person. In the middle of conflict, it can feel like you're opponents, but you're not enemies, you're partners facing a problem together. Ecclesiastes 4 verse 12 says, "Though one may be overpowered, two can defend themselves." Imagine standing side by side instead of face to face. Instead of me versus you, it becomes us versus the issue. This shift changes everything, because when you focus on winning the argument, you risk losing the relationship. But sometimes emotions still get overwhelming, and that's where number 5 comes in. Know when to pause and reset. Taking a break isn't giving up, it's choosing wisdom over chaos. As Proverbs 16 verse 32 says, "Better a patient person than a warrior, one with self-control than one who takes a city." And when you come back, you're not reacting, you're responding. There's a difference.
Now, here's a mistake that quietly poisons relationships over time. Number 6, stop digging up the past. Old wounds don't heal when they're constantly reopened. Isaiah 43 verse 18 says, "Forget the former things, do not dwell on the past." Bringing up past mistakes during new arguments is like pouring salt into a wound that's trying to close. Yes, the past matters, but arguments should focus on the present issue. Healing requires letting go, not holding on. And when you realize you've made a mistake, number 7 becomes critical. Humble yourself and apologize sincerely. A real apology is not defensive, not conditional, just honest. James 5 verse 16 tells us to confess our sins to each other and pray for each other so that we may be healed. Pride says, "I won't admit it." Love says, "I value you more than my ego." And here's something to think about. Research shows that sincere apologies increase trust and emotional connection. Sometimes 2 simple words, "I'm sorry," can rebuild what felt broken. Now, as healing begins, don't stop there. Move to number 8, build solutions together. Arguments shouldn't end with silence or distance. They should end with understanding and growth. Proverbs 11 verse 14 says, "Plans fail for lack of counsel, but with many advisors they succeed." Sit down together and ask, how can we prevent this next time? It's not about blame anymore, it's about building a better future. In this way, a relationship grows stronger after conflict, not weaker. And there's something many people overlook. Number 9, validate feelings even when you disagree. You don't have to agree with someone to acknowledge their emotions. Romans 12 verse 15 tells us to rejoice with those who rejoice and mourn with those who mourn. Imagine telling someone, "I may not see it the same way, but I understand why you feel this way." That sentence alone can soften hearts and open doors, because validation says your feelings matter even when perspectives differ. And finally, number 10, take responsibility for your part. Every argument has two sides. Growth begins when you stop pointing fingers and start looking inward. In Matthew 7 verse 3, Jesus asks, "Why do you look at the speck of sawdust in your brother's eye and pay no attention to the plank in your own eye?" Self-reflection is powerful. It turns conflict into a classroom instead of a battlefield. When both people take responsibility, transformation becomes possible. And here's the truth I want you to carry with you. Arguments don't destroy relationships, the way we handle them does. An argument handled with wisdom, humility, and love can bring you closer than before. If this spoke to you, don't just listen, apply it. And before you go, take a moment to reflect. Which of these 10 areas do you need to grow in the most? If you found value in this, go ahead and like the video so more people can see it. Share it with someone who might need this message. And I'd love to hear from you. Drop a comment below and tell me which point challenged you the most. And if you want more content that blends real life with biblical truth, make sure you subscribe and stay connected. God bless you.